Here's the truth. Women don't fall for the nicest guy. They fall for the man who makes them feel something. You can buy her flowers, compliment her every day, and treat her like royalty, but if there's no emotional spark, no mystery, no tension, it won't matter. Because attraction isn't built on logic, it's built on feeling. The problem is, most men think being nice is enough. They think if they just show her how much they care, she'll eventually see their worth. But that's not how it works. Women don't want a man who worships them. They want a man who inspires them. Someone who makes them curious, challenged, and just a little uncertain. Because that uncertainty is what triggers emotion. Think about it. When has anyone ever fallen for something predictable? The people who make us feel alive are the ones who surprise us, who stay calm under pressure, who have their own world that we want to be part of. That's what pulls women in. Not neediness, not desperation, but presence. A man who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, and doesn't try to prove himself, that's the man who stands out. Because he gives off the energy that says, I'm good either way. And that's power. So before you try to make her like you, ask yourself this. Do you make her feel something? Because attraction isn't about trying harder. It's about understanding what makes you magnetic in the first place. The moment you stop seeking approval and start owning your energy, you'll notice something strange happen. She starts noticing you. Not because you begged for her attention, but because you stopped needing it. And that's when everything changes. The problem? Why most men get ignored, let's be honest. Most men ruin their chances before they even begin. They text too much, reply too fast, and over-explain every thought like they're auditioning for approval. They think effort equals attraction. But the truth is, effort without balance looks like desperation. And nothing kills attraction faster than desperation. When a woman feels that you're trying to convince her to like you, she automatically loses interest. Why? Because the energy shifts. She stops seeing you as a man with options and starts seeing you as someone trying to earn her validation. See, women are drawn to curiosity. They're pulled in by the unknown. But when a man lays everything out too soon, his emotions, his intentions, his entire life story, there's no mystery left to explore. He's given away the power of discovery. And mystery is what keeps desire alive. When she doesn't know exactly where she stands with you, her mind starts to wander. She begins to think about you, question you, wonder about you. And that's where attraction grows. But most men do the opposite. They chase too early. They double text when she doesn't reply. They act as if one woman's attention defines their worth. They think persistence will make her change her mind. It won't. It only confirms what she already feels, that you're too available, too predictable, too easy to figure out. The moment she senses that, the spark dies. Women want to feel drawn to you, not pressured by you. They want to sense that you have your own life, your own goals, and that her attention is something you welcome, not something you depend on. Because when you stop trying to convince her and start focusing on yourself, something powerful happens. She starts to wonder why you're not chasing her like everyone else. And that curiosity turns into attention. That attention turns into attraction, and that attraction becomes connection. Not because you begged for it, but because you finally understood the truth. Interest kills mystery, and mystery is the heartbeat of desire. The psychology of desire. Attraction doesn't happen in the mind. It happens in the body. It's not a checklist, it's a feeling. You can't logically convince a woman to like you because attraction isn't a decision she makes. It's a reaction she feels. You've probably heard a woman say, I know he's a good guy, but I just don't feel that spark. That one sentence explains everything. Desire doesn't care about effort, intentions, or logic. It feeds off emotion. Women are emotionally driven creatures, not because they're irrational, but because they're wired to respond to feeling. When a man triggers emotion, curiosity, excitement, challenge, tension, he becomes unforgettable. But when he tries to reason his way into her heart with compliments, consistency, and constant attention, he only engages her mind, not her emotions. And here's the truth. Logic can earn her respect, but only emotion can earn her desire. That's why some men who barely try still manage to capture women's attention. It's not about looks or status, it's about energy. It's how they make her feel when they talk, how they carry themselves, how they can stay calm under pressure, and yet keep her slightly uncertain about what's next. That emotional unpredictability creates the spark she craves. It's like a story she doesn't want to end. She keeps turning the pages because she doesn't know what comes next. But when you try too hard to please, to be safe, or to avoid mistakes, you kill that spark. You become predictable. And predictability doesn't excite anyone. It soothes them, but it doesn't attract them. The truth is, attraction grows in tension, not comfort. So if you want to understand desire, stop trying to be perfect and start being real. Be the man who stirs emotion, not the one who explains himself. When she can't fully read you, she feels something. When she feels something, she remembers you. And when she remembers you, you've already won. Not by chasing her mind, but by awakening her emotions. That's the psychology of desire. It's never chosen, it's triggered. The confidence paradox, here's something most men don't understand. The more you chase validation, the less confident you appear, and the less attractive you become. Confidence isn't about looking perfect or never feeling doubt. True confidence is about knowing your worth, independent of anyone else's approval. When you act desperate for a woman's attention, your energy screams one thing: I need you to choose me. And nothing kills desire faster than neediness. Think about it. Who do women naturally gravitate toward? The man who's calm, self-assured, and focused on his own life, or the man who constantly seeks her approval? It's simple. Approval seeking is weak. Women sense it instantly. They can feel the tension, the anxiety, the overthinking. And even if she likes you, that energy pushes her away, because attraction isn't just about liking. It's about respecting the energy you bring. The paradox is this: when you stop trying so hard, when you stop bending over backwards to get her to like you, something magical happens. Your confidence rises naturally. You carry yourself differently. You speak with authority and calmness. You don't beg for her attention. You simply exist with a level of self-possession that makes her curious. And curiosity sparks attraction. Real power isn't about manipulating feelings or forcing interest. Real power is in not needing her to choose you. When she senses that you're living your life, pursuing your goals, and enjoying your own company, she starts to see you as a prize rather than a supplicant. She sees a man who isn't easily swayed, a man whose energy is grounded and unshakable. And that's magnetic. Most men think confidence is about showing off, about appearing flawless. But in reality, confidence is subtle. It's in how you handle rejection, how you stay calm when she's distant, and how you remain emotionally unshaken no matter what. That emotional stability is more attractive than any pickup line, fancy gesture, or forced charm. So if you want women to desire you, the first step isn't trying harder. It's owning yourself. Stop chasing. Stop seeking approval. Stop needing her to choose you. Because when you do, you'll realize the paradox: the less you need her, the more she'll want you. And that's the secret behind true magnetic confidence. The power of indifference. One of the most misunderstood secrets of attraction is indifference. Most men think being nice, attentive, and constantly available will make a woman like them. The truth, it often does the opposite. When you're overly eager, she knows exactly where you stand. There's no mystery, no tension, and no challenge. And without that, attraction fades. Indifference, on the other hand, creates a magnetic pull because it sparks curiosity. When a woman senses that you're calm, collected, and not easily impressed, she starts paying attention in a completely different way. Think about it. Humans are naturally drawn to what they can't fully grasp. When you act like her approval isn't essential to your happiness, it flips the script. Suddenly, she's not just another person you're trying to impress. Now, she's the one who wants to earn your attention. That shift changes the dynamic entirely. Instead of you chasing, she begins to pursue. Instead of you hoping for validation, she begins to seek it from you. And that's where real attraction begins. Indifference doesn't mean being cold or uncaring. It's about emotional control and self-possession. It's about maintaining your energy, staying grounded, and not letting every small interaction dictate how you feel. When you do this, your presence carries weight. You're no longer just a man in her orbit. You're someone she notices because you're not easily influenced, not swayed by moods, and not desperate for affection. That calm, stable energy is magnetic because it signals security, strength, and independence. Qualities women are subconsciously wired to find attractive. The best part is that indifference naturally builds mystery. You don't reveal everything about yourself too quickly. You stay slightly unpredictable, keep her guessing, and make her wonder what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and where you stand. And that uncertainty keeps her invested mentally and emotionally. She begins to analyze, notice, and anticipate your actions. And that's the exact opposite of boredom or disinterest. So if you want to make a woman want you, even when she initially isn't interested, learn the power of detachment. Step back, stop over-investing, and let your energy speak for itself. When you remain calm, collected, and indifferent to her approval, something almost magical happens. She starts chasing, wondering, and desiring what she can't immediately have. And that's the subtle art of attraction that most men never understand. The energy shift from chasing to attracting. Here's the harsh truth: chasing never works. The more you beg for attention, the more you shrink your presence, and the less she sees you as someone worth pursuing. Attraction doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from energy. It's not about what you say or what you do. It's about how you make her feel when she's around you. When your energy shifts from chasing to attracting, everything changes. Suddenly, you're no longer following her lead. You're setting the tone. The first step is presence. Women are drawn to men who are fully engaged in their own lives, who have purpose, and who carry themselves with quiet confidence. When you live with intention, you exude a magnetic energy that says, "I have my own world, and you're welcome to be part of it." That presence creates intrigue. She notices you not because you're constantly trying to impress her, but because your energy is undeniable. Next is tone. Your words, your voice, your demeanor, they all communicate power. Calm, measured, and assertive energy tells her you're in control, and women are naturally attracted to control paired with confidence. You don't need to convince her verbally that you're valuable. Your energy shows it. When you speak with purpose, when your tone carries calm certainty, she subconsciously registers that you're a man who doesn't need validation, and that sparks desire. Finally, purpose is critical. When your life is full of goals, passions, and personal growth, it radiates attraction. Women sense when a man is focused on something bigger than himself. It shows independence, ambition, and self-worth. Instead of chasing her attention, you command attention simply by living fully and unapologetically. The energy shift isn't about manipulation. It's about becoming the man whose presence alone captivates. It's about moving from neediness to self-possession, from seeking approval to naturally drawing it. When you focus on being the best version of yourself and exude calm confidence, women begin to notice. They're pulled to your energy, intrigued by your independence, and ultimately drawn to the man who doesn't chase, the man who attracts. This shift is subtle but powerful. Stop running after her. Stop over-texting, over-explaining, and over-pleasing. Start commanding energy through presence, tone, and purpose. When you do, you'll see a remarkable change. Women who ignored you before start paying attention, curious about the man who suddenly seems untouchable yet magnetic. And that's how desire is created. Emotional control, the secret weapon. Here's a truth most men overlook: attraction isn't just about confidence or looks. It's about emotional control. Women instinctively test men, sometimes without even realizing it. A delayed reply, a sudden change in mood, or a subtle tease. These are small tests to see if you'll lose your composure. And most men fail. They panic, overreact, or chase desperately, revealing neediness and insecurity. That's why emotional control is the secret weapon, the skill that instantly separates average men from unforgettable ones. Emotional control isn't about suppressing feelings or pretending you don't care. It's about mastering yourself so your emotions don't control your actions. When she throws subtle challenges your way, your ability to stay calm communicates something powerful: stability, strength, and self-possession. She notices it subconsciously. She senses that your worth isn't dependent on her reaction, and that shift in energy is magnetic. Think about it. The men who are remembered aren't always the ones who try the hardest. They're the ones who stay centered, who handle tension effortlessly, who don't crumble under small tests. That's the man who leaves a lasting impression. When a woman senses that your happiness, confidence, and sense of self aren't tied to her approval, she starts respecting you, and that respect fuels desire. Emotional control also allows you to create tension in a healthy way. You can flirt without overdoing it, tease without being mean, and stay slightly unpredictable without being manipulative. That balance makes her curious. She wonders how you stay so composed, how you can handle challenges without breaking. And that curiosity keeps her mentally engaged, pulling her closer even if she initially wasn't interested. Mastering emotions isn't instant, it's a practice. Start by noticing your reactions, pausing before responding, and asking yourself whether your actions are driven by need or confidence. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And the more natural it becomes, the more magnetic you are. The bottom line is this: a man who masters his emotions becomes unforgettable. He's calm under pressure, detached from approval, and unshakable no matter what tests come his way. Women don't just notice him, they feel drawn to him. Emotional control isn't just a skill, it's a weapon of attraction. And once you wield it, you're no longer chasing, you're commanding attention effortlessly and powerfully. Self-improvement is the magnet. Here's a simple truth: confidence alone isn't enough. You can talk a big game, act charming, and carry yourself with pride, but if there's no substance behind it, it falls flat. Women are drawn to men who are growing, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Self-improvement isn't just about looking good. It's about becoming a man who embodies value in every area of life. That's the real magnet. Physical growth matters because it communicates discipline and self-respect. When you take care of your body, you signal that you value yourself, and that energy translates into attraction. But physical improvement alone isn't enough. Mental growth, expanding your knowledge, sharpening your skills, and cultivating an interesting mind adds layers of depth. A man who can hold a conversation, share ideas, and inspire curiosity becomes far more intriguing than someone who only looks the part. Emotional growth is equally important. Women are drawn to men who are emotionally stable, self-aware, and capable of handling challenges without losing control. When you understand your own emotions and can navigate life's ups and downs with calm confidence, it radiates a kind of power that words can't explain. Emotional intelligence is magnetic because it creates comfort, trust, and a sense of safety, all while keeping the spark of intrigue alive. The key is balance. Growth in one area without the others feels incomplete. Confidence without progress is just talk. A man might act confident, but if he hasn't worked on himself physically, mentally, and emotionally, women can sense the gap. They instinctively notice when a man is evolving versus when he's simply pretending to be more than he is. And evolution is irresistible. The beauty of self-improvement is that it naturally attracts women without the need for chasing, manipulation, or over-texting. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, your energy changes. You carry yourself differently, you speak differently, you move through life with purpose and presence, and women notice. So stop thinking about tricks or strategies to make her like you. Instead, focus on becoming a man worth noticing. Build your body, sharpen your mind, and master your emotions. When you grow in all areas, you don't have to try to attract women. They are drawn to your energy, your progress, and your magnetic presence. Self-improvement isn't just a tool, it's the foundation of irresistible attraction. The mystery element, one of the most overlooked secrets of attraction, is mystery. Most men reveal everything about themselves too soon. They share their life story, their feelings, their intentions, and their plans all at once, thinking it will make them more likable. The truth is, oversharing kills intrigue. When a woman knows everything about you right away, there's nothing left to wonder about, nothing left to explore, and desire starts to fade. Mystery, on the other hand, creates curiosity, and curiosity fuels attraction like nothing else. Mystery isn't about being secretive or dishonest. It's about pacing the information you reveal and letting her discover you slowly. When you leave space, she starts filling in the gaps herself. She wonders about your experiences, your thoughts, and what makes you tick. That subtle uncertainty keeps her mentally and emotionally engaged. Women love to uncover layers, to slowly peel back the man's persona like a story they can't put down. Another part of mystery is unpredictability. When you're calm, collected, and not always doing exactly what she expects, it keeps her guessing. Maybe you reply a little slower sometimes. Maybe you surprise her with a different perspective. These small shifts make her pay attention. The key is balance. You don't play games, but you don't hand everything to her either. You maintain your energy while giving her just enough to stay interested. Mystery also protects your value. When she doesn't know everything about you, she can't take you for granted. She can't assume she has you figured out. And that's powerful because desire thrives on a challenge. Women are naturally drawn to men who aren't fully accessible right away, who carry depth that can't be completely understood in one conversation or one meeting. That depth signals confidence, independence, and self-possession, all traits that are magnetic. So if you want a woman to want you, even when she wasn't initially interested, embrace mystery. Don't reveal everything at once. Let her slowly uncover the layers that make you unique. Keep her guessing, keep her curious, and let her wonder about you. That curiosity will make her think about you, talk about you, and want more of you. Mystery isn't manipulation, it's an art. And when mastered, it turns attraction into an irresistible pull she can't ignore. The subtle pursuit, showing interest without losing power. Here's a principle most men completely misunderstand. Showing interest doesn't have to mean losing power. In fact, the men who attract women most effectively are the ones who can express desire without overinvesting. The key is balance. You want her to feel chosen, wanted, and intrigued, but never like she's the one holding all the cards. When you overdo it, when every text, every compliment, and every action is designed to earn her approval, you shift the dynamic. She senses neediness and attraction fades. Subtle pursuit is about being intentional. You flirt, you compliment, and you show intent, but you do it sparingly and strategically. You let her feel your attention as a reward, not as a baseline expectation. When a woman notices that you can give interest without sacrificing your independence, it creates tension. That tension is magnetic because it makes her feel like she's earning your energy rather than the other way around. It makes her want to be noticed by you instead of feeling like she has to. The balance also lies in restraint. You don't over-text, over-call, or over-explain your intentions. You drop hints, you tease, you engage, but you maintain boundaries. This restraint signals emotional control and confidence, and it makes every interaction feel more meaningful. She starts to pay closer attention to the moments when you do engage because your energy is selective, deliberate, and valuable. Another part of subtle pursuit is timing. You don't give everything at once, and you don't always respond immediately. This isn't about playing games. It's about showing that your life has priorities beyond her approval. When she sees that you are occupied, focused, and emotionally unshaken, she subconsciously recognizes your worth. Your attention becomes something she earns, not something freely given. When done correctly, subtle pursuit creates desire without desperation. She feels chosen, appreciated, and intrigued, all while you maintain the upper hand. Attraction isn't about chasing her, it's about guiding her to notice you, value your presence, and desire your energy. Master this balance, and you'll see a remarkable change. Women who may have been indifferent before start showing interest, drawn by the tension, curiosity, and power you naturally exude. Subtle pursuit isn't just a tactic, it's a mindset, and it's one of the most powerful tools in creating irresistible attraction. The shift in her mind. When interest turns to desire, there's a moment in attraction that most men never understand. The turning point when a woman who once ignored you suddenly starts seeing you differently. She might not even realize why she's drawn to you now, but it all comes down to energy, focus, and vibe. Women are wired to notice subtle shifts in a man's presence, and when you master your energy, she can't help but take notice. It usually starts with detachment. When you stop chasing her, when you stop seeking validation, your energy changes. You're no longer reacting to her moods or trying to win her approval. Instead, you're centered, calm, and self-assured. That shift is magnetic. Suddenly, she's not the one holding the power. You are. And her subconscious picks up on it immediately. She starts to wonder why you're no longer so available, why you seem more grounded, why you're not reacting the way she expected. That curiosity is the seed of desire. Focus plays a huge role as well. When you dedicate yourself to personal growth, goals, and your own life, it changes the way you carry yourself. Your attention isn't scattered or desperate. You're fully present in your interactions, but your life exists outside of her. That balance makes you intriguing because you're no longer a man who exists solely to gain her attention. She starts to notice the independence, ambition, and self-possession you exhibit, qualities that are far more attractive than compliments or smooth lines. Your vibe, the energy you radiate, becomes irresistible. Calm, confident, slightly mysterious, and emotionally unshakable. Your presence is magnetic. She might start paying more attention to your posts, your messages, or the way you interact in social settings. She notices the subtle changes in how you carry yourself, and her mind begins to shift. What she initially ignored becomes something she wants to understand, to experience, and to be a part of. The shift from indifference to desire isn't about manipulation. It's about becoming a man whose energy naturally commands attention. You're no longer chasing, over-explaining, or seeking validation. You're living, growing, and embodying the traits that naturally attract women. And at that point, the woman who once ignored you doesn't just notice you, she feels drawn to you. That's the magic of energy, focus, and vibe. When mastered, desire doesn't need to be forced, it simply happens. So tell me, do you think women really want love, or do they want to feel something they can't control? Think about it for a moment. Every action, every reaction, every subtle glance, it's not always about logic. It's about energy, emotion, and the way you make them feel. Maybe you've been in situations where you did everything right, and yet she didn't notice you. Or maybe she lost interest when you tried too hard, over-explained, or gave away too much too soon. That's the reality most men never face. Women are drawn to energy, presence, and subtle confidence, not desperation or approval seeking. And that's exactly why mastering your own energy, emotional control, and self-worth is so critical. When you understand this, it changes the entire game. You stop chasing. You stop trying to convince her to like you. And that's when the magic happens. When your energy speaks for itself, when your presence becomes magnetic, and when desire naturally turns in your favor. So I want you to think about your own experiences. When was the last time a woman noticed you because of who you were, not because of what you did? When did your calm, confident energy make her curious? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share your experiences, your observations, your lessons learned. Let's create a conversation about the truth of attraction, about energy versus effort, about what really makes a woman want you. And if you're done chasing approval, done giving away your power, and ready to start attracting effortlessly, hit subscribe. This isn't just another channel. This is where confidence becomes power, where understanding attraction turns into real life results, where you stop hoping she'll notice and start becoming the man she can't ignore. This is your chance to step into that energy and change everything. So hit that subscribe button, because the transformation starts now.